Today, I have chosen Madeleine Blanchfield's architects from the Australian Interior Design Awards to research. Madeleine's architectural firm has a studio located in Paddington that she started her business in 2009. Since 2013, she has won many design awards and worked with many clients. Ever since she was little, she wanted to design her own room, so she picked up her pencil and started to draw without the proper equipment needed. Throughout high school, she always had a passion for art, and this has led her to study environmental design at the University of Canberra and architecture at the University of New South Wales. After graduation, she started her career in Sydney's leading design firms. She worked in both commercial and residential fields. Later on, she branched off on her own and started her own firm in 2009. When she started her own brand, her philosophy developed. Her brand philosophy is to work hard to resolve complex design issues. By accomplishing this, her team and herself will create beautiful, elegant, and timeless homes for her client. Her design philosophy is to work closely with clients in a collaborative way to distinguish their personalities into the design. Her communication strategy is through her website. This is where you can find details to contact her. She also communicates through many magazines such as Good Weekend and Vogue Living. This creates publicity and advertisement for her company. Her social media is Instagram at Madeleine Blanchfield Architects. The firm's page has 10.4k followers. Here she posts inspiration and her work as well. One of her major projects is called Covelli House 2. This property has a dark home, and the design brief was to create a whimsical, quirky, and personal space. This property had a few challenges, but they did overcome them. Because the owner of the house was a young family of 5 who enjoyed art, they wanted most of the artworks hung up on the wall. However, they had to take some walls down, which created less space and walls for the artworks to go on. The industry event I attended was called Design Week at the studio. I attended this event as there was a tour of a design office hosted by interior designer Helen Griffin, and I wanted to find out more about the design process that went on in the space and more about the designer. My expectations going in were quantity of attendance, in-depth process of design, and a tour and questions and answers. Going in and leaving now, the quantity of attendance was low. There was less than 20 people. However, on the signing in sheet, there was about 50 that was supposed to attend, but majority didn't. This has caused, in result, an informal event where she sat down and just talked to us more in a quieter kind of like setting. She didn't really go into an in-depth process of designing the space that she worked in, which is the studio. She did give us a tour of the spaces, of what they've got around, and the questions and answer was very informal as well. If we had a question, we would just go up to her and ask her about the questions that we had. I had learnt that there are a lot of regulations and restrictions when designing in a heritage building, which this was in a heritage building in Wynyard. The interior designer didn't know much about the media rooms, such as green screen rooms and sound studios, so a lot of research had to go into the planning for the designs. So I've learnt that, like, if you don't know much about what you're doing, if you could just research a bit more, and that would help you with the design process. In terms of the scheme wise, because there was a heritage building, if you look in the second image there of the foyer, behind the glass doors there are actually green tiles which you can't remove off the building because they are the original pieces that went up. So because it's a heritage building, you had to work with them. As a future designer, the only thing I left with me after this event was the importance of regulations that you needed to comply when working with a heritage building. If I'm honest, this didn't this event didn't meet my expectations about enhancing my knowledge about the interior design world. I think because it was very informal, so it went pretty quickly. I was there for about an hour. So I didn't really get to learn much, just mainly about the building, and it's a heritage building basically, and you have to comply with regulations and codes with this. Yes, so this is my recording, and thank you so much for taking your time to mark my assessment. Thank you. Oh, and also this is a picture of me attending the event. Thanks.